I'm talking about the perfect timing to start veno-arterial ECMO. Usually, Dr. Alexander, he measured the management of acute heart failure during the first 6 hours of hemodynamic instability. We are talking about after these 6 hours of resuscitation. In the time
Mohamed, we don't see your slides yet. Okay. We just see your desktop.
Now?
No.
You see now?
I don't. I just see your folder, ECMO folder. Probably you're sharing, not the right thing. If you stop sharing and then you restart and then just choose the PowerPoint or complete sharing.
Complete sharing.
There it is.
Now
we stop. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Veno-arterial ECMO, it is non-durable mechanical circulatory support used in patients with cardiogenic shock for cardiopulmonary support. Usually the type of the mechanical circulatory support depends on the circulatory problems and ventilatory problems. Patient with mainly cardiogenic shock without ventilatory issues, we can start with Impella or temporary VAT. But patient need mechanical circulatory support for cardio and respiratory system, we go for the ECMO, veno-arterial ECMO. But because of the ECMO had associated with high mortality and the frequent morbidities and the higher cost complexity of management, we should restrict this circulatory support to patients with high chances of survival. This simple configuration of veno-arterial ECMO, including the drainage cannula, taking blood from the venous system to the pump, then oxygenator, then heater, gas blender, and returning the blood to the arterial system again. This is a photo for the cardio help machine. This is a drainage cannula, oxygenator, and the pump behind, and the return cannula. As discussed before in the session 4, the global oxygen delivery. This is the amount of oxygen delivered to tissues each minute. It depends on the cardiac output and the arterial oxygen content. ECMO can compensate for the reduced cardiac output and hypoxemia, significant hypoxemia. Cardiogenic shock, this is a wide range of etiology for patients with cardiogenic shock, mainly acute myocardial infarction with its complications, myocarditis, cardiac arrest, post-cardiotomy, post-heart or lung transplant, electrical storm, some cases of sepsis-induced cardiac depression, trauma, post-pericardiectomy. This is a wide range of cardiogenic shock, but each patient will benefit more from ECMO support. According to the cannulation, there is central veno-arterial ECMO. This is restricted for post-cardiotomy, mainly after failed weaning of cardiopulmonary bypass. The patient came from cardiac surgery with the same atrial and aortic cannulae and open chest. This is the disadvantage. Peripheral veno-arterial ECMO, according to the cannulation, the drainage cannula, femoral or regular, the return cannula is femoral, mainly or axillary, percutaneous or cut down approach, percutaneous, ultrasound guided, or cut down in case of direct visualization of the femoral vessels. This emergency applied in patients with cardiogenic shock or with extracorporeal CPR. This is easy cannulation and the most common type of ECMO. Who are the candidates of veno-arterial ECMO? As we mentioned, is a transient cardiopulmonary support and associated with many morbidities and high mortality. So should be restricted to suitable cardiogenic shock. Patient with refractory to conventional therapy in the form of fluids, inotropic support, plus or minus intra-aortic pulmonary counterpulsation within 6 hours before multi-organ failure. Patient with this support, but still increasing requirements for inotropes, increased lactic acidosis, started to have affection of kidney affection, conscious affection we usually start for transient mechanical support. Patient with expected cardiac recovery or candidate for durable mechanical circulatory support or heart transplant in case of absence of contraindication to ECMO. What are the contraindications for venous arterial ECMO? Generally, poor life expectancy, like patient with cancer patient with end-stage organ failure, patient with cardiac recovery is unlikely, and no plan for durable mechanical circulatory support or heart transplant. Patient with severe peripheral vascular disease, patient with severe aortic regurgitation, patient with immunological disease with significantly thrombocytopenia or coagulation disorders, patient with significant neurological impairment, patient with aortic dissections and extensive involvement of the aortic branch, advanced liver cirrhosis. Age is a questionable, mostly according to ELSO, less than 70 years old. This is the recent ELSO report in October 2021 showing the cardiac, the venous arterial ECMO for cardiogenic shock, including more than 33,000 patients, and mortality survival to discharge, it was 44%. And ECMO for extracorporeal life support involved more than 10,000 patients with 30% survival to discharge. This is a list of complications of venous arterial ECMO, including circuit clotting, hemolysis, cannula site bleeding, or surgical site bleeding in case of post-cardiotomy, cardiac tamponade, pulmonary hemorrhage, CNS affection, stroke or hemorrhage, acute kidney injury and need for dialysis, infections, limb ischemia, and limb amputation even. This is another issue, the extracorporeal cardiopulmonary resuscitation. We think about in case of conventional cardiopulmonary resuscitation fail to achieve ROSC after 10 to 15 minutes with high quality CPR of a witnessed cardiac arrest. Provide support and time for procedures like percutaneous coronary intervention, thrombectomy. Documented survival to discharge, it is 30% according to ELSO registry 2021. ELSO inclusion criteria for extracorporeal CPR, including age less than 70, witnessed cardiac arrest to time to the first CPR less than 5 minutes. The cardiac arrest, it is in the form of current VF and intermittent ROSC. Entire carbon dioxide during resuscitation is more than 10 millimeter mercury during resuscitation. Arrest to ECMO flow is less than 60 minutes. That's why we, after 10 to 15 minutes of CPR, we should think of ECMO because it will take time. And according to recommendation, to start the flow less than 6 minutes. Signs of life during conventional CPR. It is intermittent. The patient regain his rhythm and arrest again. Absence of life, limiting comorbidities, absence of significant aortic regurgitation. We have one case, challenging case, we admitted by the end of last October 2021. It was a 45 years old man, no medical history, only he was a smoker, dyslipidemic, no other risk factors for ischemic heart disease. He fell down while he was in a business online meeting, and his colleagues came to his office and discovered he lost his consciousness and started CPR in his office. Okay, they asked for the ambulance, but they decided to take his colleague to the ER in his private car without waiting for the ambulance. Time to ER presentation, it was 25 minutes. and the cardiac resuscitation in the ER, it was 32 minutes, including 5 DC shocks. This is ECG post ROSC in the ER, revealed ST elevation in the anterior leads. The patient was taken to the cath lab. Coronary angio, it was negative. Patent vessels, no spasm, no clots, nothing. Echocardiography was done, was normal sized heart, but ejection fraction less than 10%. The patient was hypotensive in the cath lab, despite high doses of inotropes. He was severely hypoxic, despite ventilation. X-ray showing bilateral white lungs. Was in cardiogenic shock with frank pulmonary edema. The decision was taken in the cath lab to go for venous arterial ECMO support. Despite the long CPR and there was some debate to start ECMO or no for this patient. But we went into VA ECMO insertion. Yes, CT brain after ECMO support, there was loss corticomedullary differentiation, some brain edema. In the ICU, we applied therapeutic hypothermia more than 24 hours. The patient developed acute kidney injury, but no need for dialysis and gradually improved. The patient had ischemic hepatitis, he had delayed neurological recovery. EEG was done, no epileptic activity, suspected myocarditis. We consulted the heart transplant team for this patient because we are not sure of the diagnosis. What's the diagnosis for this patient? They suspected this is a possibility of myocarditis, and they applied, they recommended to start pulse steroid, actually. We gave it empirically. But gradual improvement of the hemodynamics happened, and VA ECMO weaning and ECMO guiding was done after 6 days. This is the TE during weaning.
Dr. Mohamed, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you do, please, slideshow?
Okay.
I mean whole screen.
You need to put into the presentation mode.
Yes. Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. This is after 6 days, after ECMO decannulation, ECG started to have infrequent BVCs. Patient started spontaneous eye opening after 11 days of ICU stay. We did MRI brain to assess for prognosis of this brain injury, and MRI showed diffuse brain insult with tiny foci of hemorrhage. Contraceptive gradually improved and extubated after 16 days of ICU admission. MRI heart was done and showed myocarditis changes. ICD was inserted. And the patient discharged it. Finally, VA ECMO is a life-saving procedure for emergency cardiopulmonary resuscitation associated with high mortality and frequent morbidities. Should be inserted as a bridge to decision. Proper selection of the candidates with good chances of survival. Thank you.